I'll be talking about the benefits and impediments of operating in South Korea. Now, Taylor and Quinlan talked about the different Korean customs at the beginning of the presentation, and I'll be diving deeper into some of these topics to explain how they can either benefit or impede your success in a business setting. The first thing I'll be talking about is kibun. Kibun has no direct English translation, but it would be compared to a good mood to people in the US. South Koreans try to maintain their kibun throughout the day in both their personal life and in the business world. They're willing to make sure they're not disturbing anyone else's kibun as well. In the business world, South Koreans always make an attempt to be polite and do things with good intention. Sometimes kindness by South Koreans is a facade in order to keep a person's kibun intact. For example, they'll avoid saying no or giving someone bad news in order to prevent hurting another person's kibun. Being aware of this culture is specifically important for Americans trying to do business. Americans are much more direct with the way they do business. We openly express our opinions regardless of if it's negative or not, and will even argue at times to get our point across. One of the biggest principles of South Korean business culture is keeping the harmony, or inwa, which is in direct correlation with kibun. In a business setting, disturbing the harmony in the room would harm everyone's kibun, causing the business negotiations to go south. Koreans show specific body language and other nonverbal cues in order to show their true intentions in a statement. It's very important for Americans to be able to notice these signs, to understand the actual meaning of what South Koreans are trying to say. If you upset a person's kibun, it will ruin their enthusiasm to do business with you, and the chances of achieving any sort of agreements are low. Next, I'll be talking about rank and seniority. These two factors are extremely important for South Koreans. It's so important that people are not called by their first name. They're called by their title instead. High-ranking Korean officials won't be comfortable doing business with a junior member of an American business organization. Regardless of the level of expertise that person may have, South Koreans will find the Americans sending someone with a lower status to talk to someone of their importance disrespectful. This can be an early mistake an American business organization can make when in South Korea. While the highest ranking officials in South Korean business will make the decisions, it's important to recognize the junior staff as well, because they might have more knowledge on the issues at hand. When working with South Korean companies, it's important to respect their culture and send the right officials to negotiate deals. Finally, I'll talk about the first business meeting and how American organizations can either take advantage of this opportunity to benefit them in business or ruin their own chances of success due to impatience. Business in South Korea is based on personal relationships and trust. Because of this, it'll take much longer to complete a deal in South Korea than it would in America. South Koreans will use their first meeting to get to know you on a personal level. Americans like to get things done as fast as possible, so meetings where business is not involved may annoy American business people. If you can overcome the frustration of not talking about business in the first meeting and build a personal relationship, the meetings after will be very successful business-wise and will most likely result in a long-term business relationship.